Hey y'all, it's Angela here again, it's Chicken Coop, and it's January 3rd, and I am making some ham stock soup. I fixed a big ham for New Year's Day. I've cut off all the ham off the bone. Got 2 packages of nice pieces of ham. Tried to get most of the fat off. And then I had the gelatinous stuff in the bottom of my crock pot and ham pieces and stuff like that. So the ham bone is down in there. Let me get a spoon and I can show y'all. So the ham bone's down in there. Still got lots of meat and stuff on it. And then any pieces and ham pieces and stuff, fat pieces that I cut off when I was cutting that meat off the bone, I'll put in here. And then I had a couple of packages of shredded carrots that were on sale that I got, and then a few of my older onions that I put up in the freezer. All still good stuff, just, you know, trying to kind of clear out my freezer a little bit here for January. So I'm going to let this cook down for probably 24 hours or more, and then we are going to can this up. So when this is all done, I'll bring you back and show you my canning process of some ham stock. And this will be great for when you're cooking peas and beans and all that kind of stuff. So just wonderful stuff. One more way to use up your stuff out of your freezer. Some of the stuff that you would just throw away or put in the freezer and end up getting freezer burnt, and then you'd end up throwing it away anyways. So if you do this now, it's going to save room in your freezer. It's going to be ready to serve, ready to cook with. That is the beauty of canning, that it's just like opening a can out of your pantry that you bought at the store. It's ready to go. That's the best thing about canning. So I'll bring you back when we get to that process. All right, I'm back. So this has been cooking about 24 hours. It cooked on high, about 350 for about 4, 5, 6 hours. And then when it was time to go to bed, I turned it down on low to about 150. It's been cooking all day. This is, 24 hours later from when I started it. I started straining it and I thought, oh, I need to video this, so I forgot. So this is what it looks like before. And I'm just running it through a strainer right there just to get the juice, the stock off, separated from all these vegetables and the meat. So that's what I'm doing right now. There is the stuff that I cooked with, the bones, the meat, all that kind of stuff. You could go through here and pick out all the meat. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to feed this to my chickens. Sometimes you just have to pick your battles, and there's be times that I would pick out all this meat. It's just little pieces, but it would be, it would be edible meat, but I'm going to give it to my chickens. I've cut off all I wanted to off the bone. I guarantee you my grandma is shaking her head and saying, what are you doing? But this is what I'm going to do. So, and then let me show y'all the broth that I got out of this. Alright, so here is the broth that I got off of it. You can see on top there is a lot of oil and a lot of grease, which would be normal because that would be, all the trimmings. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator overnight, and then we'll be able to skim that hardened fat off of the top of this, and then tomorrow we'll can it. Hey y'all, it's Angela, I'm back. This pot of stock has been in my refrigerator overnight, and it's, kind of late morning, and I'm just getting started with this. So, as you can see, it's got a little bit of grease floating on the top. I'm going to get as much of that off as I can. I'm surprised that's all it actually had, so that's really good. So I'm going to try to get as much of that off as I can. You don't have to get every bit of it off, but I am going to get the majority of it off. Then we'll go on to the next step. So I think I'm going to use a spatula so I can just kind of get up underneath there and lift that off. Which is perfect. And y'all, nothing goes to waste. I'm gonna give that to my chickens. I'm gonna probably mix that up in some cracked corn, and they will love that. That will be a treat for them. All right, so I'm gonna give that to the chickens. All right, so I've got that all skimmed off. And so what I wanted to let y'all know, I've got cold water in my canner, because this is cold, so it's gonna be cold to cold. So I'm gonna start off with cold water in my canner. I have the correct amount of water in my canner. My canner has some little lines inside of it. And for that particular canner, I know what line to go up to. But not every canner is different, so you need to look at how much water you need in your canner. I've bought used canners at garage sales and stuff that didn't have the booklet with it, but nowadays you can just Google it and find all kinds of that kind of stuff online. So don't hesitate to buy something from a yard sale, estate sale, that kind of thing. If you don't have the book, you can get the book. You can get the instructions. Okay, so I have got some vinegar here. I'm going to pour a little bit of vinegar in my little bowl here. We'll use that here later. Got a paper towel, got my rings over here, got my lids over here. Got some jars. All right, one thing I did want to tell y'all, my daughter, I bought got a lot of lids for Christmas in my stocking. These are perfect stocking stuffers, and I was very excited to get those. My daughter also got me some labels that are really cute, and they are real easy. They dissolve with water, and so she really spent a lot of time looking up the different kind of labels and all that kind of stuff. So I really appreciated her thinking about my canning process and getting me some labels. So that was really, I liked that. So we're going to start filling up jars. So this is a pretty simple process. I'm just going to give this a stir here a minute. Like I say, I just put this through my colander. I didn't put it through a fine sieve strainer or anything like that, cheesecloth. So it may have a little bit of debris and stuff in there. That does not bother me at all. So we're just going to fill these jars up. We're just going to give it a 1-inch headspace. Perfect. All right, so let me get all these jars filled up and we'll see how many we get. That's the thing with canning. You kind of never know how much you're going to get, but that's a good thing. So let me finish getting these filled up. All right, so I'm going to look up, I have an idea, but I want to tell you all the right thing. I'm thinking I'm going to process these for 20 minutes, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look in the ball canning book. It's just got stock. It's got beef, chicken, vegetable. It's all stock is stock. So I'm going to look this up. 105 is the thing. Okay. Yes, it says to process pint jars for 20 minutes and quart jars for 25 minutes. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's the same on beef stock, chicken stock, and vegetable stock. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that I was telling y'all the right information. Always look it up. Don't just you know, even though you've done this a long time, and I kind of knew what the processing time was, I just wanted to double check, especially since I'm doing a video and I wanted to give y'all the correct information. All right, so the next thing is I'm going to take a paper towel, and with some vinegar, I'm going to wipe the rims off with this, especially this, because yes, I did use a funnel, but this does have those a little bit of that greasy juice in it. So I wanted to make sure that these rims are as clean as they can be. Okay. And then we're going to put some lids on them. Now I'm going to process these in a, you know, canning, so I'm not going to heat these up or anything like that. I'm just going to put them on. I've not had any issue with that. Fingertip tight and place in your canner. And this will take me 2 batches to process all these. I do have a double stack canner, but I haven't used it much, and so this is always what's handy. The double stack canner is kind of up in the top of my closet, and it's just, you know, I'd have to get somebody to come get it down for me, that type of thing. So I'm just going to do process 2. So yes, could I get up there and get it down, but the couple of years ago when I did that up on a ladder, I fell and broke my arm, and I'm not doing that again. So if it's not just a couple of feet off the ground, usually I don't get up on the ladder. So as my daughter says, she cannot leave me unattended. So let me get the rest of these done and get these all lids on them, rings on them, cleaned off and into the canner, and then we'll come back, show you where we're at in the process. I've got 9 in here, and I've got 8 in here, so that'll make 2 really good loads of canning with it only processing for 20 minutes, and then the cool down and everything. This is just going to take a couple hours. I can go about my day and get some other things done here around in the kitchen. All right, so I still have my little bowl of vinegar left over. That's going to just go into my canner. That's going to keep your canning jars from getting cloudy. All right, so got my canner, looking at everything. This is freely moving. My vent spout is not clogged up, and my pressure release valve looks good. No cracks or anything like that. It looks really good. My gasket looks all good. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to put my lid on my canner. My canner has like a little V right here, and I match that up on the V over here. And then I'm going to twist. All right, and then we're going to turn the heat on. And then when that starts spouting a steady stream of steam, we will start timing it then. You don't start timing it until you get a steady stream of steam. Try saying that 3 times fast. I'll bring you back when that is venting and the 10 minutes is up, and then we're going to put the weight on. It's been venting for 10 minutes. My timer just went off. Notice that this little pressure valve is popped up. So now we're going to put this on there. Notice it's not jiggling yet. It's not doing anything. It has to build up pressure. So when that starts jiggling, that's when we start timing our 20 minutes, okay? So I'll bring you back when that starts jiggling. Wait, it's starting to rock. So we're going to turn it on 20 minutes. I'm going to turn it down just a tad. So we're going to let it process for 20 minutes. And then we'll turn the heat off. We'll let let it cool down. We're gonna let it decompress, all that on its own. We don't do anything to force that, make it go quicker or anything like that. And I'll bring you back when I'm gonna open up the canner. One thing I did want to talk about is how much money that I saved by doing this canning project. I ended up with 17 pint jars of ham stock. I went online to Walmart and looked up chicken stock, and a 14-ounce container of chicken stock is about 75 cents. And that makes it about 81 or 2 cents with tax here in our area. So I figured it up. I saved almost $14 by doing this project. Now, I did save that kind of money because, yes, I had to use my lids, but I already had my jars. I did have to use you know, my stove and my fuel for my stove, but I guarantee you it was not almost $14. So was this some time? Yes, it was some time, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't work into my day and save that money. And when you just keep doing these projects, you will save money. You will save money. Also, you've got to think into how much time and money you're saving by not having to go to the grocery store and on things that I would have just, you know, most people would have just thrown out or put in their freezer. So it cost me a lot less to keep this in my freezer and to not have to go to the grocery store to go shopping. That's time, energy, and money as well. So you just have to look at it both ways as to if this is something that is cost effective for you. I like it because I know exactly what is in my stock, and it's super handy and super easy. Okay, so this little button has dropped and there's, you know, no air coming out anymore. So that means that it has depressurized and it is safe to open. So we're going to twist this and we're going to open it, but we're going to open it with the lid facing away from us because there's going to be steam. So we're going to let these sit in here for about 5 to 10 minutes and just kind of let them acclimate to the temperature that's outside in this ambient air, okay? So we're just going to let them sit there a little bit longer and then we'll take them out of the canner, okay? Okay, I set a timer for 10 minutes and now it's time to get these jars out. They're still going to be very hot. We're just going to set them on a towel over here. Looks pretty good. All right, my water looks good. It's clear, so that means I had no siphoning, which is excellent. I'm going to pour this hot water out, kind of cool this canner down a little bit, and then start my second batch. Y'all, one thing I forgot to mention is after these cool, I'm gonna let them sit here overnight, probably in the morning. I'm gonna take these jars, wash them in the sink, and remove the bands. That way I can check the seals, make sure all the seals are good before I put them up in my cabinet. We don't store jars with seals on them, with the rings on them, because that can give us a false seal. If that, for some reason, that jar lid came off, just sitting there with the lid on it, the humidity and stuff, it can actually like seal again, but it won't, the food inside will not be safe. So that's why we do not store our jars with our rings on them, so that we know if we have a false seal and know that that food is no longer safe to eat. So thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Please share it with your friends, and I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for visiting with me. Bye-bye.